Hello, I'm here to give my persuasive speech, and my audience for tonight is just my mom. Okay, my name's Eric Manthe, and today I'm here to give you my persuasive speech on why I think online classes can be more beneficial to people than taking regular in-campus courses. Now, my specific purpose is to persuade you on the merits of taking online classes and how they compare to in-campus courses. Now, for starters, I think today, in such a modern age of technology, so many things are at our grasp with just the push of a button. From how we order our food to maybe how we even get up in the morning, it's just everything is such a push-button society. And even different educational institutions have gone as far as to try to bring the classroom format through the internet. Now, this has become very popular over the years, taking online classes. Now, one article I found written by a man named Brian Hansen for the CQ Researcher mentions that higher education in the United States is undergoing a virtual revolution. More than 1,600 post-secondary schools offer some 54,000 internet-based courses to an estimated 1.6 million students. Now, there's been much debate over whether this new instructing device could be have more educational benefit, than taking a class in the typical classroom setting. Today, I'm here to tell you from personal experience, and from obviously my own opinion, that I think it could be a more beneficial thing for you to take online classes than in-campus courses. Now, a lot of people may wonder, in general, online courses, how do they come to be? How do they come into fruition to where they are today? Now, outside of the technological spawning of the internet and the emailing sort of age, I think for a lot of people that specifically want to take online classes, it really became a thing of flexibility. And again, from personal testimony, the majority of other students in the classes I've taken aren't your typical students. They're the type of people that, for whatever reason, can't commit to a full-time education like they may have at a previous time in their life. A lot of these people have military commitments or work commitments, or they're maybe married with a couple of kids, and they just simply don't have the time to really go back to school full-time anymore, or at least go to a campus, a number of days a week to take their courses. So a lot of people take these online courses simply for the flexibility so that they can take it at their own pace and still do their continuing education. Now, I can see why some people might say there's a lot of difficulties with taking an online class. Typically, you're either one of two types of learners. There's visual learners who tend to obviously have to see everything and really get a feel for things to really grasp the material they're trying to learn. Whereas other people are more listening learners where, maybe they can listen to something, or, they can hear it, or they can read it once, and they'll know the material instantly. And now, in this case, I think for a lot of visual learners, I can see why they may struggle with a lot of online classes, because if they're so used to seeing something visually and getting a better understanding for it, being in an online format where they can't see a teacher every day to ask them questions, if they have problems about an assignment or a problem or so on and so forth, it may be harder for them to really grasp the material because they obviously can't see their teachers every day. Now, a lot of people also wonder if the online information that they could get through taking online courses is really reliable. Now, according to an article I found from a writer by the name of Marcia Clement, she mentions that in the new online age, readers no longer have the luxury of depending on reference librarians' expertise in finding reliable sources. Anyone can post an article, a book, or a source with no second pair of eyes checking it for accuracy, like you would in many journalism professions. Now many readers are turning to user-created sources like Wikipedia and different search engines like Google to find previously accessed documents for their sources. A lot of people see this as a process of manipulation. Now, I could see the merits of what some of these people may be saying, that it'd be easy to find this information that may not be reliable. But in my opinion, regardless if you're taking an online class or an in-campus class, where you find your sources of information, if it's wrong, it's wrong. So if an online student, for example, is using Wikipedia as a source of information, they're probably going to the wrong source, because as most of us know, Wikipedia, which obviously being one of those, is an open site where anyone can change the information on that site. So if you're looking for information sources like Wikipedia as your holy grail in a lot of way, you're probably looking in the wrong places in the first place. So I think it's sort of irrelevant to how it works. Now, as for the methods for expanding growth of online classes, many schools have actually branched out and offered free classes and different courses to people of no charge at all. From an article by the writer of Jenna Ross, who writes for the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, interviewed someone named Bev Vachel. Now, Bev said she didn't expect much. The Minneapolis writer and consultant figured that this program she was taking was equivalent to webinars offered for free. But 3 courses in, she's impressed by the quality of the lectures, the immediacy of the feedback, and the interaction among fellow students who review one another's papers and chat online. She also tends to like the flexibility of these online programs. She's quoted as saying, "I'd get up at 5 every morning and get logged in. I partly watched the videos and I partly did my yoga," which again gives you a very good example of how this is very flexible for her and how she can incorporate many different things into her day while learning. Another article regarding taking free courses is by a writer by the name of Jamie Beckett. She writes for the Stanford Report. She mentions that for Stanford students, online content supplements the classroom experience. Professors are experimenting with the concept called flipped classroom, which shifts classroom time from lectures to interactive activities such as problem solving, reviewing difficult material, and working in teams. Online students can view the interactive videos at their convenience and progress at their own pace. Their interactive video questions and quizzes keep them thinking about the material and help them learn more effectively. At the same time, professors gain instant feedback on how students respond to lectures and course materials. So you can see there's many benefits of taking online classes in a way that, maybe if you just want to take it on somewhat of a trial basis where you want to do these free classes, you can even test for yourself ahead of time before really committing to these classes to see what they're like. Now, if you're wondering if you need statistical evidence of why these classes may be better, I found an article from the writer Steve Lohr, who writes for the New York Times, who mentions in his article, "Studies find that online education beats the classroom." He mentions that a recent 93-page report on online education conducted by the Department of Education had very interesting results. On average, students in online learning conditions perform better than those receiving face-to-face instruction. This report did a comparative research of online versus traditional classrooms from the years 1996 to 2008. This report was partially through a K-12 setting, but most of it was through college and online adult continuing education programs of various kinds. Over this 12-year span, a report found that 99 studies in which there were quantitative comparisons of online classroom for the same courses. This analysis found that on average, students that would take all the coursework online were in the 59th percentile of testing performance, compared to the average classroom student who scored in the 50th percentile. Now, a lot of people may see this as a very modest, significant difference, but you also have to think, if you're thinking statistics, a 90% difference in how they perform could be a huge difference in how people pass and fail classes. So really grasping the material here and being able to understand it is very important. So this is a very good statistical example of how online classes can be more beneficial to you. Now finally, really why I believe in being a firm believer in taking online classes, again going with the recurring theme of flexibility, I've also found that I'm a very goal-oriented person when it comes to my coursework. So not only having the flexibility of taking the courses when I need to, but having certain goals set and knowing when days and weeks and different months that certain assignments are due, I can work towards finishing those goals and working at my best pace possible instead of having to go to a class every day and just kind of going with the flow of things. So in conclusion today, hopefully I persuaded and explained a few different things to you. One, how online courses can become convenient for many people. Two, how regardless of different information systems, having flexibility of online classes can be beneficial. And three, how online classes could be very vital for a teaching format of the future. Hopefully you've gained a new understanding for taking online courses, and obviously education is a vital success to a good society, and finding different ways to educate people should be embraced as a beneficial method of progressive education. My name is Eric Manthe, and thank you for watching my speech today.